Right. That's right. Hey, everybody. This is Kelly Williams with the Kelly Williams Show in your home TV. And we're live right here at Radio Row in New Orleans, Louisiana, because it's Super Bowl week. And look who I'm with, the amazing, the incredible Kenny Mayne.
That's
Hey,
me.
Kenny, how are you?
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. If you, I know.
What's
you
your
all,
accent?
You know what? It's a little bit Cajun, a little bit Southern,
Yeah.
a little bit Texan, a little bit Louisiana.
Okay. Felt something like that. Hybrid.
Is it? Yeah, I'm just kind of a little mutt.
People think I'm Canadian. Seattle has a Canadian vibe, I think.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Do you say how does what are some words of Canadians?
Well, one thing I do that has nothing to do with Canada, or it's more the accent. I say scissors, paper, rock, and most people say rock, paper, scissors.
That's funny.
I think I just learned it wrong early, and I've adapted it. I make it my own.
I love it. That's hilarious. Yeah. Okay, so you were on ESPN from 1994 to 2021. That's a long career on there.
27 years.
And
I had to beg my way in.
Let's hear it.
Well, in 1989, I was working at a station in Seattle.
Uh-huh.
It was the Super Bowl where Joe Montana and the 49ers beat the Bengals. Heroic drive, the John Taylor touchdown. John Candy was there, all that.
Yes.
So I did a pretty good show, I thought, that night, and I sent the tape to ESPN. They called like 2 days later and said, send another tape. We want to see if that was a fluke.
No.
So I sent another tape. I go back for the interview, but I don't get hired. And then they freelanced me for several years. And eventually I broke them down. I just wore them down.
That's what you got to do.
Relentless outside pressure.
The squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yeah. I sent a letter. To one of the bosses. And I said, can you check the appropriate box? I'm trying to sort out I really did. First one said, stand by the mailbox. Contract's on the way. Second one said, keep up the freelance work. And the third one said, we'll hire you about the time ESPN 5 hits the air. And they checked the middle box.
Hey.
They mailed it back. And I got hired 2 months later.
Nice. Yeah. That was awesome. Yeah, that's amazing. That's a pretty fun career to have in broadcasting.
No, we had tons of fun. We, just Dave over here was asking me, like, amazing. You just did these things you wouldn't have thought you'd ever get to do. Yeah. People you surrounded, events. I got Stevie Wonder to say I can't be at the All-Star game. I have a high ankle sprain. That was his joke.
No.
So a lot of my stories, I did real news, whatever the news of the day was, serious or not. But I also did kind of these fantastical, silly little parodies.
I love
where
that.
we got to like write it, and tell here's your line. So we had fun doing both things.
So fun. Did you where are you from originally?
Seattle, south of Seattle.
So you're from Seattle. Was that, and you did play football, UNLV.
UNLV.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about your injury and what you're doing now with it. But was broadcasting ever something you were a football player, but did you ever think you'd be a broadcaster?
Well, that was what I went to school for, but not for sports. I wanted to be doing more serious things like documentaries and political things. It just happened at my TV station in Tacoma, Seattle, Tacoma market.
Yeah.
They needed somebody on the weekend to do sports, and I played football, and I was the guy. Like, I kind of fell into it, right?
Amazing.
And ended up being fun. So
and you were probably really good at it.
Let you more than you could in news reporting. You could have more personality doing sports.
Yeah.
So I kind of leaned into that, but yeah, it was fun while it lasted.
I like that a lot. Okay, so let's see. You went through but what year was your ankle injury in college?
1980. UNLV was at Oregon. Last play of the game.
Oh.
Some idiot stuck his helmet on my ankle.
Oh, yeah.
And I had what was called a fracture dislocation.
Oh, yeah.
I played the next year because when you're young, you just whatever. And every year, every decade, it got worse and worse and worse. But make a long story short, I ended up getting this device called an exosim. And my ankle's not well. It's always looks bad. I either want to be barefoot or flip-flops or wear my leg device.
Wow.
I can't wear dress shoes.
Wow.
I can't wear regular shoes because everybody tells you. I ran into a guy last night. You got to try ours. I said, I'll try them, but I don't think they're going to work.
Yeah.
Anyway, we started then a foundation once I got my device.
Yeah.
And it's called Run Freely. The website's runfreely.org. And we raise money $1 at a time. Every time we get to a certain amount, we call the clinic. Hey, who's next? That guy's next or that girl's next.
Love that.
I'm doing an event tonight. I don't know when this is airing, but Wednesday night here in New Orleans at Caesars, 8:00. I'm going to show a movie I made. I'm hopefully going to be funny before the movie and hopefully after. And then we'll get more serious and talk about our foundation.
I love that. And this is what's incredible. When you got to put that device on your leg, and you said it just really changed your life
in an instant.
Amazing.
I mean, I cried for like 2 hours.
Oh, I'm sure.
Gretchen wasn't there. My wife, I couldn't even get the words out.
Yeah.
And I was able to run without pain on day one. It's crazy. It sounds like, when you're watching TV and they got the medical device, pills, whatever, and it sounds too good to be true.
Yeah.
Because it usually is.
Yeah.
This one sounds like that, but it is. So
amazing.
So there's no profit here. I'm not with the company.
Yeah.
I just hustle people, tell them about a foundation, get donations. Sometimes they fall out of the sky. We got a check the other day for $5,000 out of nowhere. Some guy just heard about it and sent a check. Other people have been consistent supporters. We ask favors of famous people like Joe Montana and Mike Penix and Dale Earnhardt.
Love it.
Jerry Rice, Jamal Crawford, Gary Payton, Steve Largent,
wow,
Lenny Wilkins, all these people, and Steve Kerr, they've all either given their name or their time, and sometimes they're the prize, if you will.
Yeah.
Like Dale was cool. We had a prize where the winners got to go to North Carolina, and he gave them a day-long tour about car racing.
Oh, that is
that's
so
pretty
fun.
generous.
That's very, very generous. Yeah. When did you know that after you had this device on, you thought, this is changing my life, I want to help other people?
It was that day. Yeah.
Amazing.
So I put it on, you test it for a while, and then just like, this is it, huh?
Incredible.
If you trust the guy,
yeah,
then you have no fear. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you got to take that leap, and I did. And it's like I said, I play golf all the time. I run in my driveway. I run sprints.
Amazing.
I don't go like 5-mile runs. I don't do that, but I can do things that I can't do without it.
No, exactly.
And now all these veterans are doing the same.
Yeah. So it's not something you have to wear all the time.
No.
It's just something you do when you're active.
For me, others need it getting out of bed.
Okay.
Some people are in such pain that they need it. The first thing they do is get out of bed and put it on, and they can carry on with their day. I like to be barefoot, flip-flops. If I'm just going here to the store or here, I took a car here. I had to walk 100 yards, right?
Yeah.
But if I were going to do something more ambitious, I would want the brace on.
Amazing. That's incredible. Okay, so you're funny. That's what we hear.
It's been stipulated. Yeah.
When did you know you were funny? Because you're doing stand-up
Well, that's a new thing. I've never done it in my life.
Well, like when
I did it for the first time 2 days ago in Las Vegas.
Wow.
And now the nice people in Vegas hooked up with the nice people here at Caesars and said, hey, he's got a little act. Is there any chance you have space where he could throw? We're doing basically like a pop-up event. Nobody knows about this. You do. He does. The three people I told.
So everybody watching.
If we're live, then who's in? You got to be in New Orleans. That's half.
Come on down to New Orleans.
You can also just go to the website and send money. You don't have to not, whatever. I don't know. I think I always say I ended up doing for a career what got me sent out in the hall in 5th grade. Right? You're in the moment. What's the stupidest thing I can say right now to own the room? Mr. Bell didn't put up with that. He sent me on the hall.
Mr. Belden.
But later, other people appreciated it because, the shows are live. SportsCenter's mostly live.
Yeah.
And something happens and you quickly, or you have some line sandbag that, old reliable ones. But it's fun. The danger of the live TV or live stage now, it's kind of fun.
I love it.
I was like, do not screw this up. Like, I had this fear that I was going to do joke number 5, and why am I here? I was just going to yell to my wife, "What's the next joke?" Like,
but that's hilarious.
I mean, I didn't script it.
Yeah,
like at the upfronts, the big sales thing for the networks.
Yes,
I did that every year for ESPN.
Oh my gosh.
That one was a little more scripted. Like I would write a 5-minute, scene.
Yeah.
I would ad lib in between lines, the stuff that they didn't approve, I would slip it in on my own because it's too late now.
Exactly.
That was always the thing when they would cut us on some of our stories and say, you can't do this, you can't do that.
Yeah.
We would sometimes put in one of our scripts something so outrageous that we can't do that. I was like, okay, you win, but we get to keep all the rest.
That's really smart. That's hilarious. Okay, so where do you get your material for your comedy?
Well, in this case, for the show I'm doing, it's just all my childhood. Like,
oh, love that.
I lit a fire. I lit my birthday cake when I was 3. That's my first childhood memory.
Oh,
and
mercy.
I burned my thumb. The alcohol, tobacco, firearms agents came because that was a federal offense, right? Because the matches had crossed state lines. 4, I had another fire incident. 5, I stole a candy bar.
Oh, no.
7, I struck out off the tee and T-ball. 8, I fell in love with my teacher, and I joined the Cub Scouts. I served the United States military.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, and I have a pension, and they never took away my rank. They actually kicked me out of Cub Scouts.
No,
Mrs. Nelson, I was screwing around like usual, and as I'm walking out, she goes, you don't have to come back. And so I didn't. I was never going to make Weeblo. You know,
That's hilarious.
and my Pinewood Derby sucked. My Pinewood Derby, like Ralph Nader tried to put a stop to my Pinewood Derby. It was bad.
That's hysterical. I love that. Okay, so you've got a movie happening about wiffle ball.
So years and years and years ago, 1989, Ken Griffey's a rookie in Seattle.
Oh.
I'm on TV in Seattle.
Yeah.
And I got Harold Reynolds and Ken Griffey to meet me at the Science Center. We were just going to do like a fun feature story.
So fun.
We end up throwing wiffle balls on a speed gun.
What?
And I have the tape all these years later. So I just decided, why don't I make a funny telling of that day? What happened that day?
What?
Ken Burns is in it, the famous documentarian.
No.
We got the wiffle ball president. It's loaded with a lot of people.
That's awesome.
And it's a half hour, kind of a silly, it's a real documentary, but
Love that.
done in a less serious way. Yeah.
That's hilarious. So that's happening tonight.
Tonight, 8:00, Caesars, the hotel on the second floor.
Yep.
And we're just asking people to come and enjoy the night. And then if I tell them about the foundation we were talking about earlier,
Absolutely.
hopefully they think, hey,
Love
I want to
that.
pay for this thing. That was fun. Or maybe the
love
rich
that.
ones really want to pay for it.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
I'm not going to push. We're not doing raise the paddle. It's just, hope you had a fun night.
Yeah.
Hope you consider one day helping a veteran, whether you do it today or
Absolutely.
tomorrow, or tell a friend, or, it's just more like putting the word out.
Absolutely. That is fantastic. So you're going to do a little bit tell us what the night is. You're going to do a little bit of comedy.
Like 20 minutes, then a half-hour movie, then another 10 or 15 Q&A.
That's fantastic. And it's free.
Free, except for when I beat money out of people.
That's
at the end.
right. And he will be beating people
Yeah.
for money tonight. So get ready for that. That's right. Okay, Kenny, it's so nice
Thank
to
you
meet
for
you in
having me.
person. I used to watch you. Love that you're here
Nice.
on Radio Row with me at the Kelly Mayne Show.
I
And
appreciate
listen, first of all, I got some gifts for you.
it. Oh, I love it.
You got a power bank
Swag bag.
from our sponsor. That's right. Serendipity Yacht Cruises and
Is that
Events.
soap? Is this a bar of soap?
No,
No.
it is a
it's
power bank.
Oh my God. It's
But
a
you know what?
battery
If
thing.
you need a bar soap,
Is it going to fit this thing? Does it work?
yes, watch. It just pulls out. It's all kind of things.
Shut
It's
up.
USB, USB.
I love it. Thank you.
It's awesome.
I'll lose it in a half hour, but
Yeah,
thanks.
well, we'll give you one today. And then we also have another goodie.
You know what's really sad?
What?
They gave me a swag bag at the Kimmel show, and I left it upstairs.
No.
But the nice girl, I think this is yours. I was kind of like discombobulated, but I got it back.
course.
I got it back. What
Yeah.
else? You wait, take it back.
We got another one. We got another
Oh.
tumbler for you.
Here we are.
Right there from Steve from Biff's Gifts and Teas.
I love it.
Also, how
Thank
awesome
you.
are those?
I'm going to drink water all day.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming on the show,
All right.
and good luck tonight. It's
Oh,
really amazing.
thank
Thank you for everything you're doing for everybody.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Stay tuned for more interviews right here on Radio Row on the Kelly Williams Show. See you soon.
That was fun.
Thanks for stopping by.